Pope Francis. The Story of Jorge Bergoglio. A Graded Reader, Level A2. Chapter 1, A Boy from Buenos Aires. Jorge was born on December 17, 1936, in Buenos Aires, Argentina. His parents, Mario and Regina, were immigrants from Italy. They moved to South America because they wanted a better life and a new start. Jorge was the oldest of 5 children. His home was simple but full of life. Young Jorge loved many things. He loved playing football with his friends in the street. He was a big fan of the San Lorenzo football team. He also loved music, especially tango, and he liked going to the cinema with his brothers. His grandmother, Rosa, was very important to him. She told him stories and taught him how to pray. She taught him that it is important to be kind to everyone. Jorge was a good student. He was curious and liked learning about the world. At that time, he didn't know that his life would change the world one day. Chapter 2, The Young Chemist. When Jorge finished school, he did not decide to be a priest immediately. He liked science and wanted to work. He studied very hard and became a chemical technician. He worked in a laboratory for a few years. He liked his job because it was about facts and helping people stay healthy. But Jorge felt something different in his heart. He felt a call. One day, when he was 17 years old, he went to the church of San Jose to pray. It was a spring day in September. He talked to a priest and felt God's love in a very strong way. He knew then that he wanted to serve God and the people. It was not an easy decision to tell his family. His mother wanted him to be a doctor. But Jorge told her, "I want to be a doctor of souls." In 1958, he decided to join the Society of Jesus, a group of priests also known as the Jesuits. Chapter 3, The Teacher and the Priest. The Jesuits are famous for their studies. Jorge studied philosophy and theology for many years. He was very intelligent and he always wanted to learn more. In 1969, he finally became a priest. It was a very happy day for him and his family. After his studies, Jorge became a teacher. He taught literature and psychology to young students in Santa Fe and Buenos Aires. He was a popular teacher because he was kind and he really listened to his students. He told them that books are important, but understanding people is more important. Later, he became a leader for the Jesuits in Argentina. This was a difficult time for his country because there were many political problems. Jorge had to be a strong leader. He learned how to help people during hard times and how to listen to different opinions. He always tried to keep his priests safe and focused on helping others. Chapter 4, The Bishop of the Bus. In 1998, Jorge became the Archbishop of Buenos Aires. Usually, archbishops are very important people. They often live in big, beautiful houses and have private drivers. However, Jorge was different. He chose to live in a small apartment. He cooked his own meals and cleaned his own room. He did not want a fancy car. Instead, he took the bus or the subway to go to work. People were often surprised to see him sitting next to them on the train, reading a book or praying. He spent a lot of time in the villas miserias, the very poor neighborhoods of the city. He visited hospitals and kissed the feet of sick people. He visited prisoners and told them, "God loves you." He told other priests that they must leave their churches and go into the streets to find the people who are suffering. He became known as the Bishop of the Poor. He did not want power, he only wanted to serve. Chapter 5, The Call to Rome. In February 2013, Pope Benedict XVI decided to retire because he was old and tired. This was a very unusual event. Cardinals from all over the world traveled to Rome to choose a new leader. Jorge Bergoglio was 76 years old. He packed a small suitcase and bought a plane ticket to Italy. He thought he would return to Argentina in a few days. Inside the Sistine Chapel, the cardinals talked and prayed. They wanted a leader who understood the modern world. On the second day, they chose Jorge. When they asked him, "Do you accept?" he said yes. He chose the name Francis. He chose this name because of Saint Francis of Assisi, a saint who loved the poor and loved nature. It was a message to the world. This papacy would be about simplicity and peace. He was no longer Jorge, he was now Pope Francis, the 266th Pope. Chapter 6, A Pope of Surprises. From the first day, Pope Francis surprised everyone. Usually, the Pope lives in a very large and beautiful palace in the Vatican. But Francis looked at the big rooms and said, "No, thank you. There is space for 300 people here." He decided to live in a small guest house called Santa Marta. He wanted to live with other people. He ate his breakfast and lunch in the common dining room. He often carried his own black bag and made his own phone calls to friends and family. He also chose a simple silver cross instead of a gold one. He wanted the church to be a poor church for the poor. He showed the world that a leader does not need luxury to be important. He preferred to spend money on helping others instead of buying expensive things. Chapter 7, Protecting Our Common Home. Pope Francis is very worried about the world we live in. In 2015, he wrote a very important book called Laudato Si. In this book, he said that the earth is our common home. He explained that we must take care of nature because everything is connected. He talked about the trees, the animals, and the water. He said that climate change is a big problem, and it hurts poor people the most. He asked everyone, rich and poor, to change their habits. We must use less plastic, recycle more, and protect the forests, he said. He reminded us that the earth is a gift from God. His message was clear: if we love God, we must also love and protect His creation. Chapter 8, A Global Traveler. Even though he was getting older, Pope Francis wanted to visit the people. He did not only visit big, rich countries. He traveled to places where people were suffering from war or poverty. He went to Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. In every country, he did the same thing: he listened. In Lampedusa, Italy, he cried for the refugees who died at sea. In Central Africa, he opened a holy door to ask for peace during a war. In Asia, he hugged children who lived in the streets. He traveled to show that the Pope is not just for Rome, but also for the whole world. He wanted to be a bridge between different religions and different cultures. He often said, "Please, pray for me," because he knew his job was very difficult. Chapter 9, The Message of Mercy. Every year on Holy Thursday, the Pope washes the feet of 12 people. In the past, popes washed the feet of priests. However, Francis changed this. He went to prisons and hospitals. He washed the feet of women, young people, and people of different religions. He taught the world about mercy. Mercy means to forgive someone and to help them when they are in trouble. He told the church to be like a field hospital. This means the church should help people who are bleeding or hurting in their hearts. He spent time with people that the world often forgets: the elderly, the sick, and the homeless. He even invited homeless people to have dinner with him at the Vatican for his birthday. He showed that every person is important and deserves respect. Chapter 10, A Day in the Life. What is a normal day like for Pope Francis? He wakes up very early, at about 4:30 in the morning. He spends the first few hours praying and reading. At 7 o'clock, he says Mass in the small chapel of Santa Marta. Then, the work begins. He meets with presidents, kings, and groups of people from all over the world. He reads many letters and signs important papers. He works for many hours, but he always finds time for a short nap after lunch. He does not watch television. He gave up TV in 1990 because he made a promise. Instead, he likes reading or listening to music in the evening. Before he goes to bed, he prays again. He lives a simple life of work and prayer, always thinking about how to help the world. The story of Jorge Bergoglio is a story of service. From a young boy in Buenos Aires to the Pope in Rome, he never forgot his mission. He showed the world that the most important thing is not power or money, but love and kindness. The end.